day 4 of the World Masters Games, and it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. On the line, I have Emma Catford just to give us an update. Emma, how are you?
Well, we're a little jaded at the moment on account of the bad weather that we've been experiencing since being up here. Today was no different, with despite the temperature being a lot warmer. I think it was about 25 degrees, which was quite nice. To catch a bit of sun, it was incredibly windy, so much so that the regatta was cancelled at 10 o'clock this morning.
So literally no racing at all, or have you managed to get a couple of races in today?
No, we did get a few races out. So the first race for Richmond was the women's sea quad, of which we had Derek coxing one of the boats from another club. I forget actually which club it was. Jerry was also in a composite crew. Carolyn Manning was in a composite crew, and myself and Nicole were also in a composite crew. So we had a couple of boats out there, and it was pretty hairy getting up to the start and onto the start line. A lot of people had difficulty holding their line as the wind whipped around and pushed us from bow to stroke. However, they did send everyone off, and we managed to eventually get down the 1,000-metre stretch. However, I have to admit that that was a very long 1,000 metres. And
you did manage to qualify though for the semi-final.
Yes, we did.
For what it's worth.
Yes. So it wasn't the stellarest of rows, and certainly hope there weren't any pictures taken of the grimaces on our faces. But both Carolyn and Nicole and I made it through to semi-finals in our respective crews. So we were expecting to go out again in that, but that didn't happen on account of the increasing winds. It was pretty much like Bairnsdale. Imagine Bairnsdale with more white caps, is how I would describe it.
That was horrendous.
It was, yes. All of those that saw the 8 flying off that morning on Sunday, they'd appreciate the conditions that we were in. But of course, you're trying to race and do your best and try and get through to qualifying semis and finals. So there are a lot of nerves around, as well as the fact that people have travelled a great distance and have focused on doing this event for some time.
And so that was it for you for the day, or did you have another race?
No, we did actually have one more race. Annalise, Nicole and I were also in a doubles. Annalise was rowing with Catherine Smart from Melbourne. And the racing was postponed for a period of time, but they then sent boats out again, of which the double was in fact the last event to be held that day, with not even all heats being held. We were the last heat to go down, and Annalise came 5th and we came 6th, which would have meant that we didn't qualify for the semi-finals. And after that, boats were asked to just return to the shore, and I think it was a fairly chaotic return, with boats sinking and spectators running to the shore to grab people as they were coming in. And from there on, we were put on standby, and until the regatta organisers decided that they were actually going to cancel further racing for day 4.
The wind must have been horrendous, because looking at some of the scores, the times coming down, they were reminiscent of a 2,000-metre race, and you're only racing 1,000. So
yeah,
it was obviously very difficult conditions.
It was, and commentators were heard to be saying, "Well, we think that's bow number 1, but they're coming up in lane 10. We don't really know what's going on," and races where you didn't know where the start and finish was, because someone might have been incredibly slow and the other crew coming down was in the next heat. So it was all a bit mad. And Jerry described it that there was a flotilla of boats just all over the place. So it wasn't. It doesn't really represent, I guess, the level that people are actually rowing at with the times that were produced today.
So what happens? What's the official line as far as the regatta is concerned? They've cancelled, obviously, the day, or postponed the regatta indefinitely, or what are they doing?
No, we're expecting to race tomorrow morning. In fact, we have a 5:30 leaving from the accommodation in order to get out there for a 7:30 race. Nicole and Shane Usher from Melbourne Uni are racing in an A double in the same division as Martin Azai and Dennis and Annalise. So it will be a tough race because the three of us are all in it, 3 crews, but we're basically going to tomorrow with the expectation of rowing all the mixed events. However, the weather forecast is pretty much the same as today, so it's anyone's guess as to what will happen.
Right, okay, that could be an unfortunate end to what's been a rather long campaign for you guys.
Yes, we might have to reconsider and focus on the Worlds in Italy in what would be 2013, but I'm not sure any of us can wait that long because, as Nicole put out, people want to have babies and get successful careers. We don't have time for more rowing. We've done our dash, but Minutes to Midnight might be ready.
Yeah. Well, that's a positive.
It is a positive.
As would a trip to Italy be too.
Yes, and so we're running a tally on various sob stories at the moment. Dennis, who has been here for 4.5 days probably, you'd say, has rowed 1 heat, so he's not doing too well on the race tally. Was
it raining during that heat? Did he get his hair wet or anything like that?
No, he didn't get his hair wet, and he hasn't melted either, despite the volume of rain that we have had up here. And his hair looks okay, so no one need fret about that. Martin has got various rows, but probably the person that has been on the water the most has been Derek. He pimped himself out very early on in the piece and picked up a number of coxing gigs from other interstate and international crews.
It's a bit disappointing. Well, it's very disappointing. I know we've got a number of people that will be listening to this and will be disappointed that you guys haven't had a good go today, given that you had a fairly large agenda. But hopefully tomorrow you'll get some racing in and be able to do well in the mixed crews that you probably gunned yourself up for in the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's definitely been a big focus for us to do well in that and row as well as we can. So it will be very disappointing if we don't get the opportunity to put out there and strut our stuff. But that would be the same for all. And in fact, as a club from Townsville coming down specifically for the mixed racing. So I hope that we do get to hit the water. Otherwise, they will have made the trip to Sydney to no avail.
Yes, absolutely. Well, fingers crossed for tomorrow, and we'll hope to have a chat to you tomorrow night and hear that you've managed to get on the water and managed to get a few races in. So, yes, rest well, and we'll hopefully speak to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, we'll speak to you soon. Good luck.
See you later. Great. Bye.
Bye.